Hi everyone, so I'm going to do a quick tag for you today. I'm going to do the Leave Me Alone I'm Reading tag, which I believe was originally created by Booktubers, so I'm going to leave a link to her channel below. We've got 10 questions and I think that it's quite an interesting tag, so if you wonder why I'm looking that way and then looking down, is I have the questions there and then the answers written on here. So I'm going to get straight into it. Question 1 is, if you could step into the life of one fictional character for 24 hours, who would it be and what would you do? And for this I chose Celia from the Night Circus, and I would spend a lot of time at the Night Circus going into all the different rooms and experiencing all the magic, and because I'm Celia I would also create my own little room. I've tried to think of what kind of room I would create and I can't really narrow it down, but I think it would be some kind of story world where you walk in and you could choose a fairy tale or your favourite book and it would create that world and you could go and spend time in it. So if you're a Harry Potter fan you could think of the worlds and there would be Hogwarts for you to enjoy in the tent, so I think that's what I would do if I was Celia. Number 2 is, it's the zombie apocalypse and you find yourself locked in a basement with 3 fictional characters. Who would you want them to be and why? The first character I chose was William Herondale from the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. I think he would end up doing my head in after a while, but you need someone there with a bit of cheek and a bit of banter that you could have with them, and I do think he would probably keep you entertained if you were locked in this basement for quite a while. And he's quite a dashing character, so you've got to have some eye candy keeping you company while the whole world is ending around you. The second character I chose is a young Sirius Black, and the reason I chose him is because I think if you had William Herondale and a young Sirius Black together, it would just be so much fun. They would be bouncing off each other, you know, banter going around everywhere, and they'd be daring each other to do stupid things, and I think it would just be really fun. And then to kind of tone down the boys, keep them under check, the third character I'd have would be Claire Fraser from the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. And I think I would have her the age she is at the beginning of the series, which is around my age. I think she's around 20 when she goes back in time in the first book, and she's just she's very sensible, but she's also very fun, she's very feisty, so I think having that collection of characters would be really fun to do all the fireworks and make friends. Number 3 is, which 2 fellow booktubers would you want by your side in the basement as you wait to be rescued? And I have chosen Lena from The Girl Saw the Comet or Just Kiss My Frog, which are both her channels. And the reason I choose her is because I always agree with everything she says in her videos, and I just think you could have some really interesting conversations with her, and she's also really wacky, and she just seems like the type of person that I would get on with. She kind of reminds me of some of the people that I'm friends with. And then I've also chosen Amy from Shout Amy, and pretty much the same reasons for picking Lena. I like watching her videos. I just feel like if we were friends in real life then we would get on really well. And she seems to have great taste in books, and she loves Lord of the Rings, so I love Lord of the Rings, but she seems to have a massive, vast knowledge of it, so I could sit and she could teach me all the character names that I don't know how to pronounce. 4 is, which fictional characters would be your best friend and which would be your mortal enemy? And for the 2 best friends I picked Hermione Granger and Tessa Gray, and the reason I picked those 2 is because they're both bookish, they're very independent and strong voiced women, or girls, but women as well, and I think we would get on very well. We could have our own little book club and we could sit and discuss men, and Hermione would be rolling her eyes about Ron and Harry, and Tessa would be muntering away about Will and swooning over Jem and not knowing what to do, and I could sit there and be like, oh, you can give one of them to me if you want. I just think if they were real people, which we all wish they were, we would get on. And my mortal enemies, I've chosen 2. The first one being Joffrey Lannister from the Game of Thrones. I really hate the character. Really hate his character. He's just so... I haven't watched the TV series, but I do think I have seen people on Tumblr say that his sadistic side has been quite amplified in the series, but the TV series. But in the books, I just hate him. There's no need for him to be as evil as he is. He's just like a spoilt brat. And the one bit I have seen of A Game of Thrones is when Tyrion slapped him on the face, and it was just so funny. I was like, yes, you need to have that done to you every single day. And the other mortal enemy is Jason Compson from The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. And the reason I chose him is just because he's such, I don't know, he's very bitter about his life, and he just puts it on everyone else, and he's always taking it out on Caddy and then on Quentin, both his brother and his niece Quentin. They're just, I don't like the way he acts, and he can't take responsibility for his own actions, and he passes them off to everyone else, and he's leached off his family, and he's making his mum think that he cares about her when all he cares about is the money that's going to be left, and then he's realising that there's not much of that left, so he's even more bitter about that. He's just a very, very, very bitter person, and I think it's alright to be bitter if you're in a situation where you need to be bitter. Just don't take it out so harshly on everyone else. I really don't like. Number 5 is which villain / evildoer do you secretly admire, and this would be Tyrion Lannister. Just the way that George R.R. Martin has written his character, with the little kind of sarcastic thoughts he has, like when he's thinking about Cersei and he's either talking to her or he's talking to someone about her, and he's on about how it's ironic the things that she's accusing people of, or like being judgmental of when she's having incestual sex with her brother, and just the little quips and remarks that he makes, and they're just amazing. You just sit there and you think, you're evil and you do all these nasty things, but you're just so sarcastic and so dry and so funny, and you actually want to shake his hand, and especially when he slaps Joffrey around the face. I think he kind of redeems himself there a little bit when he slaps him around the face. Number 6 is who are your top favourite fictional pairings / ships? I have chose 2 romantic ones, even though it does say it can be partners in crime. And it's a bit problematic, the 2 my favourite ships, because I love Tessa and Will, and Tessa and Jem from the Infernal Devices. When all of that love triangle was going on, I was just like, I don't know who I want her to be with, and then obviously without giving it away, the kind of resolution that happens at the end of the series. But still, I don't know which couple I like better, because you've got Tessa and Will, who are just so lustful, and there's the passion and kind of like the way that he makes her feel, like that is what you imagine like very passionate love to be. Like, he makes her feel like her head's all over the place, but then you get how Jem makes her feel, and he makes her feel safe, and that she's okay to be herself, and she can just accept her for who she is, and it feels right to be with him. So it's kind of like she's got the 2 kind of elements what you would want in one relationship, but with 2 people, and the whole series you just sat there and you're like, I don't know which one I want her to be with. I want her to be with both of them, and that can't happen. So yeah, I also do like the Will Jem Parabati friendship. So if I was going to choose the partners in crime, then it would be Will and Jem. So it would just be one big love fest with the whole Will Jem Tessa thing. Number 7 is if you could change the ending to any book you have read, which one would it be and why? I sat for about 5 minutes and I can't think of a specific ending that I want to change. No, I can't really. There's the Stephen King book 11/22/63. I don't know whether I'd tone down the ending to that, the kind of apocalyptic bit of the ending to that. I don't know whether I'd tone that down. I don't know. I haven't really read a book in a while that I've sat and read the ending and been like, I would change that, which is quite good. It's a good track record to have. I don't think I changed the ending to any of the books I've read recently. 8 is an alien race invades Earth. What book do you give to their leader in order to better understand humans or humanity? And I have chosen Flowers for Algernon by, I forgot the author. I think it's Daniel Keyes, don't quote me on that, but yeah, it's a science fiction book. And it's basically a story about humans and what their approach to intelligence and retardedness is, and how people think that being intelligent is what you should aspire to, and if you take someone who isn't intelligent, is actually like mentally retarded, and make him super intelligent to the point where he's like making up scientific theories that prove things and stuff, like the human repercussions of that, the kind of moral repercussions of that, and how it makes that person feel, and also the people around him. It just raises a lot of questions about how important it is to be intelligent in this society, and whether you can still keep your kind of essence as a person if you have this super intelligence, because the main character does become increasingly arrogant and increasingly distant from the people in his life, because he's just surpassing them with this treatment he's having. He's just surpassing them, and he finds it very hard to have conversations with people because he's just having so many thoughts that are better than theirs. He wants to correct them all the time and he feels like they're not on his level. It's like if you watch Limitless, that's got Bradley Cooper in it, the kind of experience he has is when Bradley Cooper takes the pill and he can sense everything at the same time. It's kind of that kind of feeling that the character has, and I just think to give it to a alien race, it would teach them about, I don't know, it would teach them about what humanity is and the lengths that humanity and humans might stretch to if they were just told you can do whatever you want, you can be as intelligent as you want, and whether or not that's a good thing. Number 9 is use the title of a book you have read. Using the title of a book you have read, what would you call the story of your life? And I've chosen The Pursuit of Happiness by Douglas Kennedy. I've only actually read half the book, but I couldn't really find, I've got quite a lot of depressing titles, but yeah, I liked The Pursuit of Happiness. I think that's what I've been striving to do. That's what I still strive to do. I just want to be happy with what I'm doing and where I'm going and who I'm with. So yeah, The Pursuit of Happiness is the story of my life. Number 10. If you had to kill off a character from one of your favourite books and you can't choose a villain, who would it be? And the character that I've chosen is Harry Potter, and the reason I've chosen this is because I thought it would have been really interesting, and I know there wouldn't have been able to be a happy resolved story if she had done this, but I just think it would have been such an interesting twist if Harry would have died. I know she wouldn't have done it because it's not the good conquers bad and the whole evil doesn't triumph and good will always win in the end, but there's this very interesting idea of what would have happened if Harry hadn't have come back. I don't know, part of me really wanted Harry to die, and I know that's really bad because I'm a hardcore Harry Potter fan, but part of me really did want Harry to die, just to see what J.K. Rowling would have done, whether she would have left the character like Ron and Hermione and Neville, whether she would have left the people who were left behind, whether she would have given them the knowledge that Harry had to go and then finish the job, or whether, I don't know, because Voldemort by the end is weakened. He is just, I think he only has Nagini. Yeah, there's Nagini and him left, and that's it after Harry dies. And I just think it would have been possible if like the other characters would have had the right information for them to then get Voldemort, whether on that day at the Battle of Hogwarts or whether after, to like form some kind of covert operation with the Order of the Phoenix to get him. I don't know. I feel like that's a really good fanfiction story, and I do have a friend on HarryPotterFanfiction.com who has done a kind of AU dark story about Harry dying, and I haven't read it all, so I don't know how it ends, but yeah, I think there is a fanfiction. There is obviously a lot of fanfiction that could come from that, and I just think it would have been a very interesting concept if Harry would have died. I'm glad he didn't, because I love the ending. I'm a fan of the epilogue, and that everyone lived happily ever after, but I just think it would have, like I said, I just think it would have been really interesting to see what J.K. Rowling would have done with the story had the hero died, and whether she would have still done the whole, I don't know, good conquers evil, whether she would have then used the epilogue to write about how Voldemort was finally killed. Maybe she would have done it that way. I just think it opens a lot of questions about the series, and yeah, so that's my answer to number 10. And that was the Leave Me Alone, I'm Reading tag. It was actually a really good tag, so if you want to do it, I'm not going to tag anyone specific because I think quite a few people have done this and I wasn't tagged myself, but if you want to do it, feel free to do it because it's quite interesting, especially I really like the last 9, I like 8 and 10, the questions 8 and 10 were the best ones, So I shall be back at some point with another video. I'm not going to promise like another video next week because, as we have all seen, I'm a crap person at being scheduled. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my answers, and I shall see you next time. Bye!